Welcome back to the course on cryptography and system security. I hope I'm audible and my shared screen is visible through the open board software. Anyone can quickly write in the chat box whether I'm audible and the screen is visible. Okay, good. So in our previous session, we discussed about some of the fundamentals which are related to the number theory. We discussed about prime numbers and relatively prime numbers or co-prime numbers. Then we discussed about what is GCD, and then we discussed about Euclid's algorithm or Euclidean algorithm through which we calculated a GCD for the two numbers, whether it was a co-prime numbers or maybe any numbers, right? And with the continuation of that topic, and we extended and we started with the Chinese remainder theorem, right? Under that, I was explaining about the technique through which we can find out any common value, right, for the given equations, right? So continuation of that. So 42 power 3 mod. I'll just erase this part. Right, when we talk about this 42 power 3 and mod 5 will get the remainder value is equal to 3. Very similarly, right, y4 is equal to inverse of capital M upon M4 mod M4, which is inverse of 30 mod 7, which is equal to 30 power 7 minus 2. So that means that we'll get 30 power 5 and mod 7. So which will get the modulus equal to 4. Once if we calculated all these y1, y2, y3, y4, right? Now we need to substitute the values into this formula, which is according to the Chinese remainder theorem, capital X equal to A1 and capital M1 and multiplied by y1. So this is for the first equation. Okay, so this is for second equation A2, M2, Y2, right? So according to that, right, A1 is equal to 1 and M1 which we calculated was 105 and Y1 which we calculated is again 1. So here they were given in the different order, right? They were given M1, A1, Y1. Again, when you talk about this, the second equation, which is A2, M2, Y2, for this again A2 value is equal to 1, again Y2 value 1, M2 value which is 70. When you talk about the third equation, which is this one Y3, right? What is my Y3 value, which is 3, right? And then M3 is 42, and then A3 is equal to 3, right? And multiplied by the fourth value, which is this 30, which is my M4, and then which is A4 value, which is 1, and then the remainder part which we calculated, which is Y4, which is 4. So 30 into 1 into 4, if we multiply all this value, 105 plus 70 plus 378 plus 20 and mod 210, you will get 43. So this is what the number, right, which to be calculated based on the given equations. Can you understand the concepts? Shall I repeat it again? How many of you clear with this Chinese remainder theorem? You will be getting different equations, right? If you solve all these equations, you are supposed to find out the x value, right? If you are dividing any number repeatedly, you will get the remainder 2, 3, 5, depends, right? And for that, there might be a common number. We need to find out the common number through the Chinese remainder theorem. Any further queries? Further explanation to be required?
Sir, can you explain with one more example?
Yes, definitely I'll do that. The second example, right through that, just note down the problem. With this problem, again, I'll try to explain with the Chinese remainder theorem. A bag has a certain number of pens. If you take out the 3 pens at a time, 2 pens are remaining. So here you are going to, let's assume all the bag which has X number of pens, right? Out of that, if you take 3 and remainder will be 2. And if you take 1 pen, sir, if you take 4 pens, here something which is hidden. If you take 4 pens at a time, again 1 pen is left. If you take out 5 pens at a time, 3 is left. What is the smallest number of pens in the back? Right? So this is what the problem given. So this problem can be solved using Chinese remainder theorem, which is CRT. Right? So we'll form the equation first. Ax equal to, so 2 mod 3. If you are taking 3 and the remainder will be 2. So 2 mod 3, what is the results? 2 mod 3, which is 2. Correct? Is it correct? 2 mod 3 is equal to 2, right? If you are taking 3 pen out, 2 pens are left. So that means that x congruence to 2 mod 3. Very similarly, if you take 4 pens out, which is 1 is left. So x equal to 1 mod 4. And then the third equation they are trying to form is that based on that, if you are taking 5 pens out, 3 pens are left. So 3 mod 5. So 3 mod 5 is equal to 3. So we have formed the 3 equations, right? X equal to 2 mod 3 and then x equal to 1 mod 4, x equal to 3 mod 5. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, from the equations, right, we assume that the A1 value, right, from the equation A1 value is equal to 2 and then A2 value is equal to 1 and then A3 value is equal to 3. And then for M1, which is the first equation remainder 3. Again for M2, the second equation remainder which is 4. Again for M3, the second equation remainder which is 5. Right? We need to find out the common capital M, which is the multiplication of M1, M2, M3. So there is no M4. It has only 3 equation by mistakenly they have given. So what is the 3 remainder values? So 3, 4, 5. So which is 60. Right? We calculated capital M. So now we are going to find out for all set of elements, right? Capital M1 equal to M1, capital M upon small m1, which is capital M was 60, which we calculated. So 60 divided by the first M1, which is 3. So which we will get 20. For the second capital M2, which is 60 upon 4, will get 15. And M upon M3, which is 12. I hope this is clear. So what was our A1, A2 value? A1 is equal to 2, A2 is equal to 1, and then A3 value is equal to 3. And for M1 value is equal to 3, and M2 is equal to 4, M3 is equal to 5, and our capital M is equal to 60, and capital M1 for the equation 1, which is 20, and then capital M2, which is 15, and for capital M3, which is 12. So based on this value, now we are going to proceed further, right? So we are going to find out the inverse modulo operations, right? Give me a second. I'll just note down the values. 20, 15, 12, right? Okay. So next we wanted to find out the inverse modulo of the whatever the value which we calculated, right? So y1 is the inverse of capital M capital M upon M1 mod M1, which is inverse. This is M1 which we calculated. I hope you remember this value. The previous slide I wrote all the data. Again, I don't want to repeat on this, right? Remember the values, right? Capital M1 is equal to 20 mod 3. So this 20 power mod 3 or 2. Just make sure that what value is it. What was the problem which we given? 2 or 3?
3.
3. So here we'll get 3 minus 2. So 20 power 3 minus 2 will get 20, right? So 20 mod 3 will get 2. So here they have given mistakenly 2 minus 2, which is 3 minus 2 actually, right? Again, so the y1 value is equal to 2. And then when we talk about y2 is the inverse of capital M upon small m2 and mod m2, which is inverse of 15 mod 3, right? What was the m4 value? What was the remainder we got it? M mod 3 for this. I'll go through the problem again. Whatever the remainder value which we are getting, right? Here it is upon 4. So this remainder values are 3, 4, 5. So M1 is equal to 3, 4, 5, M2, M3. So here this 15 upon M2 minus 2. M2 value is equal to 4. So 15 minus 4 minus 2 will get 15 power 2. So 15 into 15. So we'll get 225. 225 mod 4. We'll get the result 1. Are you clear with this? If you repeat this, y3 is equal to inverse of capital M upon M3 mod M3. Mod M3 value is equal to 5, right? So y3 value which we calculated was 12. So 12 mod 5, and the power will get this 5 minus 2, which is, so 12 power 3. What is the 12 power 3? What is the value of 12 power 3? Are you all working?
1728.
So 1728 mod 5. 1728 mod 5. Are you getting the result equal to 3? 1728 mod 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the y1, y2, y3 values, right? So if we wanted to find what the capital X equal to, so we need to multiply this value a1, m1, y1, right? What was the a1 value? a1, a2, a3 value, which from the previous equations, right? Which is 2, and capital M1 value which is 20, and y1 value which we calculated 2, right? So 22 into 20 into 2, which is 80, plus this A2, M2, Y2, which is 1 into 15 into 1. So we'll get 15 again. This A3, capital M3, and then Y3, which is 3 into 12. So here this M3 value, which is 12, which can be calculated from here. And then the Y1 value, which we derived is 3, and A3 value, which was given in the beginning of the equations, right? If we multiply, you get 108. Add all this value and apply mod 60, right? So this was the capital M which we calculated. And if you are doing the modulus operation 203 mod 60, you will get 23. So this is what the common number, if you divide the values, we'll get the, these are the minimum panes which will present in the bag as per our example problem. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you need to do is that just note down this problem. Define the Chinese remainder theorem. Find the solution to the simultaneous equations. X equal to 2 mod 3. And the second, I hope this equation, this notepad is visible and you can see the equations clearly. Anyone can unmute and say the answer. Is it visible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Note down the fifth problem. Define Chinese remainder theorem. Find the solution to the simultaneous equations x equal to 2 mod 3 and x equal to 3 mod 5, x equal to 2 mod 7. Solve the problem now. If any clarifications required, I am ready to help you out. I hope you are all solving the problem. I hope you are all solving the problem. What is the value of M1? Capital M is equal to 105. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Someone has mentioned 23. Oh, what is it? It is the final answer is 23. I just need to confirm. Anwar and Atia were mentioned about 23. 23 is the final answer. Is it so? Chaudhary, Atia Chaudhary, are you there? What is the x equal to 23?
Yes, sir.
The final
Final
answer,
answer.
right? Okay. So what about others? Are you getting the same answers? Final answers? So after this, you need to find out the inverse modulo operations, which is based on that, whatever the value which you get, 39 power based on that, whatever the value you are getting, 3 minus 2 and mod 3. So y1 is equal to 39 power 3 minus 2 mod 3 y2 equal to the 21 power 5 minus 2 mod 5 y3 is equal to 75 power 7 minus 2 mod 7. Finally, a1 m1 y1 plus a2 y2 m2 plus a3 y3 m3. You will get capital X. Do you face any difficulties? Others? What about other students? Are you all getting the answers? If any difficulties to find the answers, then you can let me know. I can solve parallelly. Otherwise, you can just refer to the steps which I wrote on the open board. So you just find out the solution for these equations, finally substitute, and you will get the answer. M1 is equal to 35 here. Sorry, it's my bad. Yes, 35. Okay. I hope the rest are correct. I'll cross verify again. So 5 are 10, 1 5 are 5. 1 7 7 remaining 3. 5 7 35. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So y3 is equal to 15. Sorry, m3 is equal to 15. Okay, I just noted it. Okay. So final x value is equal to 23, right? So if you are clear with this, then we'll move to the next algorithm. I hope the Chinese remainder algorithm, which is quite clear for you. And I hope that you are solved parallelly, right? You are not facing any difficulties to solve if you get any equations when you get this kind of problem in your examination. Okay. The next, the algorithm which we are going to discuss here is that Euler-Toyton function. Right? So when we talk about, this is the extension of the Euler functions at Euler theorem, right? The pi of n is the value or the symbol which is used for Euler-Toyton function, which states that how many numbers are between 1 and n minus 1 that are relatively prime to n. Suppose if you are taking any two relatively prime numbers, right? And how many numbers, for all the numbers which are present between this 1 and n minus 1, right? All are going to be, the factors are relatively primes, right? All the positive integers less than n are relatively prime to it, right? So suppose if I wanted to find out if n is equal to 4, what is the pi of n? Pi of n means again the relatively prime numbers, right, which comes under less than 4. So which is 1, 3. What are the factors for this? 1, 2, and 4 are the factors, right? And when we talk about any numbers which are related to the relative prime for the 4, which is, right, except this 2 and 4, 1 and 3 are the relatively prime numbers for the number 4. So when you talk about this pi of n, so it has the two values, right? Because it has the relatively prime numbers between these 4 are the relative prime numbers for this 4, which is 2. Very similarly, when you talk about this pi of 5, which is the relatively prime numbers for the 5, which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4. So pi of n value equal to, the final count is, there are 4 numbers. When you talk about again the pi of 7, which is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these, the 6 numbers are relatively prime to 7. So pi of 7, which is equal to 6. Right? So this pi of n, which is going to define about that the number of the relatively prime numbers for the given n. Right? If n and the pi of n is that the total number of prime numbers are the relative prime numbers for the given n. Is it clear? Okay. So very similarly, right, when we talk about this, the pi of n, which can be, if you are taking about the two prime numbers, p and q, right, and this pi of n can be calculated using this pi of n is equal to pi of p or pi of q, which can be in the form of p minus 1 into q minus 1 if p and q are two prime numbers, right? So this part we will be using in the RSA algorithm. When we talk about, if you wanted to find out the prime factors are the relatively prime numbers for any two prime numbers. Say for example, if I consider about the two prime numbers 5, 7, p is equal to 5 and my q is value is equal to 7. And if I wanted to pi of n, where n is equal to p multiplied by q. So this pi of n value, which can be calculated, p minus 1 multiplied by q minus 1, which is equal to 4 into 6, we will get, so 24. So this pi of n value for these two given prime numbers 5, 7, where the pi of n is equal to relatively prime numbers for this n, which is 24. Okay. Is it clear? Next, you need to understand again one more Euler's theorem, which is based on that, the modulus values, right? The Euler's theorem again, it states that for every a and n that are relatively prime. So if both the a as well as n, if this is what the equation, right? Some a mod n, some values, right? If these two values are relatively prime, so a power pi of n, which is definitely equal to the 1 mod n. So for example, I'll explain this with this a power, say for example 3 and 5. So these two are the relatively prime numbers, right? we consider about 3 power 3 mod 5 will get 3, right? Very similarly, right? A power pi of n. What is the pi of n value for this n? This pi of n value are the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So if we talk about the 3 power 4, which is 3 power 4 mod 5. What value are you getting? 3 power 4 mod 5. What is it? 9 into 9, which is 81. 81 mod 5 you'll get. Are you getting my point? So again, which is 1 mod n. Are you clear with this point? Euler's theorem, which is suppose if the two given numbers, that instead of 10, I took this example 5. If the two numbers are prime numbers, a, n are relatively prime numbers, right? So a power pi of n, which is equal to 1 mod n. So that means that the modulus value which is going to be 1 only, right? So how this can be proved? Again, if I take this, what is the pi of n value for 5? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the 4 relatively prime numbers for the value n5. So 3 power 4 mod 5, which is 3 power 4 is equal to 81. 81 mod 5 will get remainder 1. So 1 mod 5. So which is equal to 1 mod n, which is equal to 1. Okay. Now I will explain with the another example. Suppose if my a value is equal to 2 and then n value is equal to 10. So what is the pi of n value for this? 11 is equal to, if 11 is the prime number and its relatively prime numbers are 1, 2, 3 and followed by 4, 5, 6, 7. All the numbers are right relatively primes. So the pi of n value for 11, which is equal to, so 10. So 2 power 10, which is equal to 1 mod n, which is means 1 mod 11. So we'll get 1 only, right? So 2 power 10 is equal to 1024. 1024 mod 11, you will get 1. I hope this is clear. So if you want, you can prove this example. So a value is equal to 3 and n value is equal to 7. So 3 power 7. Now what are the co-prime for this number 7? And just tell me the answers. You can solve this if my a value is equal to 3 and n value is equal to 7. What are the prime factors or co-primes for the 7, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the 6 numbers. So 3 power 6. So 3 power 6 equal to 81 multiplied by 9, 9, 7 to 9. So 7 to 9 mod 7. 1 7s are 7, 0 and 4 7s are 28. Remainder 1. Are you getting my point? Yes, correct answer. So by the way, so this, if you are getting any two prime numbers as a as well as n, right, and depends upon the pi of n value, right, we'll try to find out the modulus value in the shortest way instead of doing the multiple multiplications, right? And we can show quickly we can find out the modulus value if the two given numbers are the relatively prime numbers are the prime numbers. So with this, we'll try to complete our today's session. If you have any further queries, there are one more algorithm which is left, so which is based on the discrete logarithm, primitive root and Fermat theorem, so that I can cover it in the next session. If you have any further queries regarding the concept which I have explained so far? So whatever the topics which we covered so far, we discussed about what is prime numbers, when we discussed about relatively prime numbers or co-prime numbers. Then we discussed about GCD, right? Then we discussed about the Euclid's method. Through that, we will calculate the greatest common devices. Then we discussed about Chinese remainder theorem. Through that, we'll try to find out the common minimum value, right? And then we discussed about Euler-Torton function, right? So with this, we are coming to the end of our today's session. If you have any queries, you can write in the chat box. There are one more topic which is related to the discrete logarithm as well as Fermat theorem. So that we will discuss in the next session.